Late season deer hunting can be a really good time to hunt if you do it right. There are two ways that people hunt late season. The first being deer drives and the second being food. Everybody knows what a deer drive is. You take a creek bottom like this, a draw, a saddle, whatever it may be, you push it out, you get a couple guys posted at a spot, and they basically wait for the deer to come to them. A lot of states have like a late muzzle loader or a flintlock or a late shotgun or a second rifle, some sort of season like that. So deer drives can be an effective way to do that. But I don't like deer drives just because you're bumping the pressure up on your property big time. This is when food plays an extremely important role in late season hunting. By this time of year, bucks have just depleted all of their energy reserves. They've been running for 2 months straight and are just exhausted. They're basically suffering from starvation at this point. So the key to a buck's heart is through food. If you can manage to find the food that the deer are hitting, especially those buck, you're gonna set yourself up for a pretty good hunt. Or what you could also do is plan ahead a couple months and plant yourself some food plots that are gonna do well come late season. What we got right here is a radish out of my brassicas plot that I planted back in August. What I did is I knew that this area was a hot spot for deer. So what I made sure to do is to plant late season food. Out there is a bunch of alfalfa and hay and legumes. There's also lots of clover scattered around this property. There's plenty of browse in the woods. Deer have plenty of food, you know, throughout the spring, summer, fall. They're covered there. The thing that they don't have is late season food. So that's why down here in this open meadow, I made sure to plant a food source that deer are gonna hit in the fall, but especially in late season and during those super cold months where basically everything is gone at that point. There's a whole bunch of different types of brassicas in this plot. Now, this is not a great plot by any means. The good stuff is on this side. As you can see, it gets real short and sparse in the center there. But this was my first brassicas plot that I ever planted. And just by walking through, you can find deer tracks. You can see where they're pawing at it, where they've taken bites and they've eaten entire turnips and radishes. The deer are hitting this plot. If there's one thing to remember from this video, is that when it's cold, they have to have food. If you do not have food on your property or around the area, you're gonna have a really, really hard time holding deer on your property. I live in an agricultural area where, you know, there's lots of food. From April to October and November, there's corn and there's beans, there's alfalfa, there's hay, there's all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of food for deer in the area. But when it comes to finding a good mature buck, especially in high pressure areas like this, it's these small little key plots like this brassicas plot that's gonna hold these deer. An example I have is last week I was checking trail cameras. I have a trail camera down here in this plot, lots of buck on them. But one thing that happened in particular is when I came down here, I accidentally bumped a huge buck and he was bedded 50 yards from this brassicas plot. That shows me that these deer, especially these buck, have found the food. They know the food's here and they're gonna bed close to it. We have tree stands in this area. My brother's got his buck tag. He's gonna try to get it done. So again, if you're trying to hunt late season, remember food. That is the one thing that you have to focus on during late season. If there's food on your neighbor's property and you have a lot of thick bedding and you can find that travel route, that'll also work. But again, it goes back to food. Where is the food? Figure out where the food is and then plan your hunt around that. Hunting this time of year can be hit or miss. It can either be really good if you're on the food or it can be a total bust. So remember that, take that into this season. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to check out more of these types of videos, click this playlist up here. If you want to check out hunting videos from this year, hit subscribe. If you want to check out all the products that I use, especially the ones I use during late season, check the links in the description. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.